changing the topology of a mesh. Now in the last video I took a model from Ryan Kingsland and took it into Zbrush, lopped off its head, and added this Z-sphere to basically seal off the model. And you can see that if I use polyframe, that basically set all these pieces into a solid form. I did miss the nose, however. You can see that very closely if I get into the area right here. So right there, that's a pretty deep crevice. Now how do I fix that? Well, I can use Control and Shift to hide the other model. I can use Control click here to mask it. I can use Control Shift here to show everything, and then I can inverse the mask. And then I can use the Move Elastic tool to try to snake a piece of geometry to close off that section. And I can have some nostril in there. I just don't want that deep of a groove. I can always sculpt that in later after I re-topologize it. Oh, look at the bridge of the nose. That also has a hole right there. These things are easy to fix now, but if you get into the topology tool, they are almost impossible to fix later. So heed my warning. Take some time in this phase. Make sure that you are in fact got a solid chunk of matter, or you will regret it. There we go. That should work out quite well. Again, I can re-sculpt in the nose later. So I'll clear that mask as far as the nostrils are concerned. Okay, now that we've repaired that little section, unfortunately I just can't re-dynamesh it right now. I'm going to have to turn it into a poly mesh. And then if I wanted to, I could probably fix that area right now by dynameshing it. But again, I'll worry about it later. Okay, now append a Z-sphere. I want a fresh Z-sphere. We'll take this Z-sphere. We'll hide this model. Go down to rigging. Select the mesh, select the last one I made right here, bind mesh, topology, edit topology. Make sure you turn on symmetry. Make your brush as small as you can get. Zoom into the model, and let's start with the eye. Now I'm not going to retopologize the whole model. That takes forever on video and it is very boring to watch. But here's the premise of it. I'm going to start out by making a big polygon in this area. So click and you'll have these magical orange Z-spheres. So these are Z-spheres. And what I'm going to do, something like that. Now I want to make it so it's very even and very easy to close off. So holding control, I click here, and then I let go of control and click on the Z-sphere up here. Now I'll hit A, I should have a closed off mesh. Hitting A allows you to preview, and I like to keep this complete. Holding polyframe, I can now look at this mesh. Having polyframe on sometimes helps, but it's really hard to see stuff. So you might want to not use polyframe forever. Now Zbrush has a habit of auto-saving. Now anytime it auto-saves, it will take and uncheck the Edit Topology button. So what I usually do is go to Preferences, go to Quick Save, and turn this up to max duration of like forever. Okay? That means it's up to you to save. Here's what a save looks like. I'm just going to save this out. Sometimes it will uncheck topology, and you have to recheck it. Don't know why. Don't know why they have that, but it does that. Control click, control click. Here's another word of warning. Do not get too many of these. Do not go overboard, because it is very hard to manage later on. You want to keep it as few of these as possible and still have good topology. Also, that allows you to have a lower cage. Control click, control click. If you mess up, use Alt to wipe it out. Okay, I didn't mess up, but that's how you get rid of them. Hit A to preview, and there we go. Starting to get a really nice topology base. Oops, don't like that one. I like the positioning of it here. Now I'll look for landmarks too. This is a great model to start to learn topology on, and that's why I wanted to cover it. It's already got really good anatomy, and really good anatomy equals really good topology, in my personal humble opinion, because you have good landmarks to follow. So by using this model, it teaches students that those landmarks are important. Hit A. Now if you see something like this, you know you screwed up. You didn't complete a loop. Now centering. What I like to do is this. So don't click like this. See how I've made an internal loop right here? What I like to do is something more like this. Okay? The reason why is I know it's going to connect because it's not in the center. Now see how it's auto completing? I don't need to complete everything. If you don't see the frame, update it by hitting polyframe. I like to do this, but I also like to complete most of the edges. Like I like to say, well, I'm going to go in here and add these two together just in case. It takes a little bit longer, but what's going on here is there is a max strip length, and if I lower this down, it will auto-complete a little bit better. Trust me when I say take a few seconds to work out the whole completed loop. Okay, there's my mask. And now I'll work on the lips. Now do you see the nose? Look what happened. I used the wrong poly mesh. Is there a way to fix that? Yes and no. In fact, this brings up a good question, is how do I use topology that I've already started or re-topologize based upon another mesh? So in the next video, what I want to do is kind of show you how that works. Let's say you have a model with topology already and you want to put it on a mesh. And then we'll continue on.